These 9 cards guarantee to display your starting credit limit before you apply. This means that your credit report will not be affected and your credit score will remain in excellent condition, completely untouched. You can finally stop sweating and gritting your teeth while watching the loading screen for what seems like 20 minutes after hitting the submit button. Now you will have all the data you need to make an informed decision. Once you see your limit, you can take a step back and sleep on it and decide whether or not you want to accept the offer. However, you should know that there are some significant issues with a few of these cards that could be a deal breaker for you. One of them even recently introduced a secret monthly fee, which prompted me to cancel it immediately. Additionally, another card began restricting access for new signups in 42 states. So let's rank these cards from worst to best. The first is the Tomo card, marketed as a credit building card, and it's the only card on this list that doesn't earn rewards on purchases. It works similar to a charge card because you're forced to pay the balance off before being charged interest, so there's no chance for paying extra for purchases. Similar to cards like the Amex Gold, you get a certain amount of spending power, and that acts like your available credit limit. When I was first pre-approved for the Tomo card, it gave me a spending power of $2,000. Since this card is geared towards people building credit, anyone with a social security number or an ITIN number can get approved, which helps non-US residents. So if you plan to immigrate or just immigrated to the US, you'd still be eligible for this card. And because they force you to pay the bill frequently, there's no minimum credit score requirement. So even if you have the worst possible FICO score of 350, you will still be eligible. As you continue using the Tomo card responsibly, your spending power can go up to $10,000, which will help you keep your credit utilization really low. And that's crucial because it makes up 30% of your FICO score. But wait, here's the problem. There's no grace period because you're forced to pay the bill weekly. So if you value having the ability to increase your monthly cash flow, this won't cut it for you. Also, you're required to link a bank account to set up your Tomo card. Some people won't feel comfortable using Plaid to connect their bank account and give Tomo that much access. As of the last few months, Tomo has been behaving a little shady. They really made a whole bunch of negative changes to this card. They got rid of the 1% cashback rate that this card used to earn. They started oddly pretending that this card has $500 worth of value, but when you look deeper, this so-called value actually comes from the payment processor MasterCard. And to top it all off, they added a $2.99 monthly fee. A monthly fee. But get this, they're calling it a participation fee. There's some real doublespeak going on here. If your focus is more on building credit, there are other secure cards out there that give you up to 2% cash back with no annual fee. Due to all the recent changes to their fees and marketing, I think the problems go even deeper than just a fast-moving fintech company. I think this card is on its way out. I wouldn't be surprised if it's shut down this year. I actually had this card for a few months just to try it out and gain some experience with it. But as soon as I heard about the monthly fee, I canceled it the next day. Also, small fintech companies like Tomo usually operate on a small budget and experience rapid changes in their company structure, which can make it hard to keep up with cybersecurity needs. That's why it's good to take matters into your own hands and protect yourself from financial fraud and identity theft. Thieves can steal your identity, open accounts in your name, trash your credit score, and ruin your chances of getting approved for anything. Did you know that identity theft is the fastest growing crime in America, with a new victim every 14 seconds? I've been a victim of it too, with my personal information exposed in the Equifax data breach just a few years back, and that's why I partnered with Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura is an easy to use app that includes everything you need to stay safe online. Aura protects you from scammers by scanning the dark web. This is where criminals sell stolen information, looking for your email, passwords, and social security numbers. It alerts you fast if it finds anything. For me, it found 30 reports of my personal data out there, which immediately made me feel uneasy and exposed. Aura helps you fight back against the annoying websites that make your personal information public by automatically requesting removal of your info. Aura gives you near real-time alerts for suspicious credit increases, like if someone was opening a loan or credit card in your name. Their VPN keeps your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. Now, you might have an app that does one of these things, but with Aura, you don't have to pay for 7 different apps. You can let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. And if you sign up through my link below, you can get a 2-week free trial of the service, and you'll be shocked at how much of your personal information Aura finds out there in those 2 weeks. So go to aura.com/Cal Barton and click the link below, or just scan the QR code on the screen. Next is the Deserve Digital Card. You're getting up to 1.5% cash back with this one. I like that they give you immediate access to your credit limit once you're approved. That's like a next generation credit card feature. The app's user interface looks good, even if it's just a ripoff of the Apple Card's wallet interface from 2019. So initially, I wasn't able to get pre-approved for this card, probably because I had too many inquiries, but I tried again and I was pre-approved for a $7,000 limit. And this is the only card that I know of that's digital only. That means you'll never receive a physical card in the mail, and there's going to be a whole lot of places like restaurants where you won't be able to make purchases. That really eliminates this card from being your daily driver. Also, the rewards are a little misleading with this one because there are 3 levels of cash rewards based on how much you spend during the billing period. For purchases up to $500, you'll earn 1% cash back. For purchases between $500 and $1,000, you'll earn 1.25% back. And only for purchases over $1,000 is where you'll earn the advertised 1.5% cash back. You got to pay attention to semantics here. Remember when I said you're getting up to 1.5% cash back with this one? The keywords there were up to, meaning it doesn't always earn that rate. And from my experience, that also means it rarely earns that rate. If you're just looking for maximum funding and you want to raise your credit limit wherever possible, then this card could do the job for you, but I wouldn't use it beyond that. Now, if you're into cars, the GM Rewards card could be right for you. New card holders can earn 15,000 bonus points after spending $1,000 within the first 3 months of card membership. The card also features a rewards program that allows users to earn 7x total points for every dollar spent with GM and 4x points for every dollar spent elsewhere. Additionally, cardholders can earn a $100 statement credit when they spend $1,500 on fuel per calendar year, or use the card to pay for 6 months of their electric bills. The MyGM Rewards card also offers a $50 allowance for vehicle detailing at participating GM dealerships every calendar year. The best part about this card is probably the 0% APR for 12 months. This could be used for so many practical purchases for large items around the house, like appliances and TVs. Also, 7x points on purchases is a super high earnings rate. I would love to see this on some of my other cards. They also have a business version of this card, which could be more useful if you really need some business funding. And I was pre-approved for a $9,000 limit just a few months ago. Now, you might be asking yourself, this seems too good. Why is this card showing up so early on the list? The largest problem lies on the redemption side. You can earn as many points as you want, but if you can't redeem them for full value, if there's massive restrictions on how and when you can redeem, or you can only redeem points at particular places, then that tanks the value of this card. Your GM rewards can only be redeemed for GM parts, loans, or lease payments with GM Financial specifically. That's key because a significant portion of car dealerships' profits come from financing cars. At this point, dealers are really just lenders that happen to sell cars. Also, there's a $1,000 cap on pre-owned vehicle redemptions because they want you buying new, not used. Listen, I personally know a few people that like this card, but I think it only works if you're already buying new GM vehicles, or you want the business version where you can take advantage of the 0% APR period to scale your business and make some extra profit. The FNBO Evergreen card, on the other hand, is a legit contender, but they recently switched it up on us, which we'll get into later. Anyway, this card features a rewards program that provides its users with unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Additionally, new cardholders can earn a $200 cash bonus equivalent to 20,000 points by spending $1,000 within the first 3 billing cycles after account opening. This bonus is a great way to maximize your rewards earnings right from the start. The 2% cash back on all purchases makes this a great card for general spending, and it has a strong sign-up bonus for a credit union. Usually, they keep any bonuses below $100. Also, instead of cheaping out and just giving you your Vantage 3.0 credit score that pretty much no bank uses to approve you, they opted to give you your FICO score, which is really helpful. I was pre-approved for a $9,400 limit with the Evergreen card about 6 months ago, but there are a few developments that really limit this card. First, more than a couple of audience members have said that FNBO lowered their credit limit suddenly without warning. Other banks like Synchrony Bank tend to do things like this, especially during economic downturns to limit their risk exposure. I really frown upon that because depending on your credit situation, this practice can really damage your credit score in the short term. And lately, when I go to get pre-approved, it tells me that I'm out of their marketing area, indicating that they decided to geo-restrict their products, at least for the time being. So this card will likely only be available to people in the 8 states that have FNBO branches. Overall, FNBO will be good for anyone trying to establish a relationship with a credit union that's known for high limits and lines of credit on the business side. Next is the Nassau Visa Platinum card. It earns a flat 1.5% back, and that's pretty much it. I found that once you get pre-approved, you can come back just about any time and continue your application. This could come in handy if you decided to wait a while before accepting your offer and you want to avoid the possibility of losing that offer. I was pre-approved for a $20,000 limit with this card, but I have yet to pull the trigger on it. The main downside with this card is the below average earnings rate at 1.5% back. At this point, that's just antiquated. The Capital One Quicksilver card first introduced that rate over 10 years ago, and the current going base rate is 2%. Nassau really needs to refresh their lineup soon. But overall, this card will be good for simple cashback and growing your credit limit. So we gotta talk about the Patelco Points Rewards card. Cardholders can earn 2x points on every dollar spent on gas and grocery purchases and 1 point per dollar on all other purchases. In addition, new cardholders can take advantage of the introductory bonus offer, which provides 20,000 extra points, or $200 by the way, when you spend $1,500 within the first 3 months of account opening. What I love about some credit unions like this one is they will tell you the maximum credit limit right on the product page, so there's no guesswork. You know exactly what's possible even before getting pre-approved. The limit goes all the way up to $50,000, which is the highest on this list. Also, I have to note that the APR can go as low as 12.4%, which is much better than the 20% and above rates you'll find with many other commercial banks. But that only matters if you avoid carrying a balance, which you should already be doing, right? With this card, I was pre-approved for a $10,000 limit. So here's the thing, I think the rewards are a little lacking. They chose to only offer 2x points on just gas and grocery purchases, when this card should really have 2x points on all purchases, or 3 to 4x points in those two categories to make it more competitive. But listen, you really have the ability to grow your limit the most with this card, since it goes all the way up to $50,000. I actually had this next card much higher on the list, but after recent developments, I had to drop it down a few spots. It's the X1 credit card. Believe it or not, I really use this card quite a bit for household spending, mostly because I have referrals that pump up the bonus rate that make it worthwhile. But if I didn't have those, I probably rarely use this card. I'll explain that in a second. With this card, you earn 2x points on all purchases, 3x points when you spend over $1,000 in a single month, and that caps out at $7,500 per month. There is a boost feature that can get you 5x points for 24 hours in a few spending categories. With the X1 card, you're getting next generation features like access to your credit limit immediately, easy family sharing, and one of my favorite implementations of virtual cards that allow you to create new cards quickly for certain situations. Plus, the card is metal with a premium unboxing experience, and they started me off with a $15,500 limit. But here are my problems with this card. First, they recently nerfed it by changing the 3x bonus rate from yearly to monthly. Before, all you had to do was spend over $15,000 in a year and all of your purchases would be rewarded with the 3x points rate. Now you have to spend more than $1,000 monthly to get that rate. That amount will be hard to hit, and the first $1,000 doesn't even count towards the 3x bonus rate. Also, the boost feature requires that you toggle it on manually before making the purchase. I don't think people want to manage another useless micro task throughout their day. They have some good bonus partners, but not nearly enough to satisfy most people. The issue is if you redeem elsewhere, you'll be taking a good hit to the redemption rate, turning this into a 1.4% cashback card. Another problem associated with this card is your redemption must cover the entire purchase to qualify, and it's not technically a redemption, but more of a purchase eraser. You have to wait for the purchase to clear on your account before it's eligible to erase. So if you pay your bill weekly like I do, you may run into a negative balance situation. And lastly, there's no way to increase your credit limit currently. I'm fine with my limit, but I still like the ability to increase it. And what if you started with like $5,000? Are you just out of luck? If you're willing to play their overcomplicated game, you can get some decent use out of this card. But for many people, the lack of credit limit increases could be a real deal breaker. Being stuck at a low limit can indirectly damage your credit score and limit your spending power. So definitely hit the link below to download my free credit limit increase cheat sheet. It comes with some other useful freebies and my weekly Credit Connect newsletter. You don't want to miss out on that. Next is a major fan favorite, the Apple Card. You earn 3% back at Apple and about 8 other merchants, 2% back when you use Apple Pay, and 1% back when using the physical card. It's the second most accessible card on this list behind the failing Tomo card because you only need a 600 score to get approved. Plus, there's the Path to Apple program that some people that fall below a 600 score can get invited to, and ultimately approved once they clear those few steps. You get several next generation features like daily cash back, interest-free installment payments for Apple products, instant access to your credit limit, virtual cards, easy family sharing, and one of the best app user interfaces that lets you easily see what categories you're spending in. And if you're concerned with growing your limit, the Apple Card allows for some pretty easy soft pull credit limit increases as well. For those of you who care about having a metal card, it comes with that too. And I was pre-approved initially for a $2,000 limit, then more recently for a $2,500 limit. There are a few drawbacks though. You only earn 1% back with that delicate metal card, and it only works for Apple users, so it completely shuts out half the country. If you're an Android user like me, leave an A in the comment section. The reason I'm usually positive about the Apple Card, despite its lack of bonus categories, is because I judge it based on who it's targeting and how accessible it is. If you own an iPhone, I think it's one of the best entry-level, let me repeat myself, entry-level cards you can get your hands on because of the low FICO score required to get approved. Also, it's practically a 2% flat rate card since Apple Pay is offered in so many stores now. And did you know that Apple just released a high yield savings account where you can store your Apple Card rewards? That's a solid update in my opinion. And the best card that shows your starting limit before approval is the Dover Federal Cashback Credit Card. They offer a super simple 2% cashback card for all purchases. When I first got pre-approved, they sent over a giant $20,000 offer. The best part about Dover is they're available nationwide. All you have to do to join is sign up for the Friends of Bombay Wildlife Refuge, which only costs $15. I think the big question mark with Dover is their final approval and underwriting process. Based on other data points, they will honor the initial credit limit they give you, but they might make you jump through a few hoops to get you fully approved, like submitting documents to verify your identity and income. They may ask for W-2s, pay stubs, and your driver's license, so be prepared for a bit of back and forth with customer service and possibly some extra time to get in the door. Dover seems like a good credit union to grow your relationship with since they have many other banking products like car and boat loans, business credit cards, lines of credit, and even business equipment financing. If you want to see me go in depth with each of these cards and talk about the whole approval process, then check out this playlist next. Thank you for watching.